There is a process that you have to go through in order for you to become. When you first start school, there's only so much that you actually know. As a first grader, there is only so much that you know at that particular level. And there is a process that you have to go through in order for you to be ready to go on to the next level. There is a certain standard that you have to reach in order for you to go on to the next level. You have to first show competence in this particular level that you are in order for you to be promoted to the next level. In most of the schools in South Africa, right, there is something called to be condoned. That means that you have been in this particular level or this particular grade, right, and you are not competent enough to go on to the next level. But because they see potential in you, they say, no, we're going to push you into the next level, even though you do not fully qualify to go on to the next level. That is the most dangerous thing that you can ever experience, because we're not competent enough in this particular level, but now you are being pushed up into another level that is higher, that has higher standards. And because you were not able to meet the standards in the previous level, chances are you won't really meet the standards in this particular level because the standards are higher, right? And that is what most of us want to do. We just normally want to skip the process. But God is the God of order, right? And for you to become who He has created for you to become, you have to go through process. It is in the book of James 1 verses 2 to 4. It says that we must count it all joy when we go through various trials, because there is perseverance that is being produced in us, and there is a work that perseverance has to do in us, so that we are complete, lacking nothing. We see that there is a becoming, and that becoming is to be complete, lacking nothing. But what is the process behind that? The process is various challenges, various trials are going to be presented to you, and you would have to pass the test, right, in order for you to become, or in order for you to be complete, lacking nothing. That is not the only process you go through, right? As you go through various trials, perseverance is produced in you, and as it is produced in you, there is a work that perseverance has to do in you. What we are seeing now is the steps that the Lord has given to us, that there is a process. First, you first go through the process, and then you become. You don't just become. You can't just be complete, lacking nothing when you haven't been through a process. When you look at some of the characters in the Bible, we can talk about Joseph, we can talk about David. Let's talk about Joseph for a minute. Joseph, right, was actually able to dream and interpret dreams, and he could interpret dreams for other people as well, which then made his brothers hate him. And in his brothers hating him, there is obviously a way that they were treating him. Process, building character in Joseph. Yet he did not know it at that point, that this is the process, this is building me. It is good for me to go through this because it is building my character for where I am going. We get to a point where the brothers of Joseph want to kill him, right? And they end up selling him, right? They sell him as a slave. As they sell him as a slave, he gets to Egypt. When he gets to Egypt, right, he stays there and he gets into prison. Process, building of character. As he is in prison, right, and his character is being built, right? So what happens is that Pharaoh needs his dreams to be interpreted because he did not understand, and some of the wise people that he would normally go to, they couldn't interpret whatever dream that he had dreamt. The only person that was able to interpret the dream was Joseph, and as he interpreted the dream, right, he got a promotion. And all we see is that there was a process. He had to go through various trials in order for him to be promoted into what he was promoted to be. And when we look at David, David was neglected. David was, a shepherd boy, someone who is not even considered. We know that when Samuel was sent by the Lord to anoint a king in the house of Jesse, Samuel saw all of the sons of Jesse, right? And he saw the appearance of them, and he was thinking in his head, that might be the king. But it wasn't. It was the one who had gone through process who was anointed as the king, because there was process that he went through. He had to be neglected. He had to be a shepherd boy. He had to know how to shepherd people before he became king. He had to shepherd the sheep first before he could shepherd the people of God. And all that we see is process. So today, the Lord is literally just saying to us, don't try to escape the process. You need to go through the process in order for you to become.